Good morning. So today we are headed out to the garden. We have had our first couple frosts already this year. And so we have had the garden started getting damage done to it. But I noticed yesterday there are a couple beans out here that I'm gonna snag. We've moved the baby layers in over here and have started letting the sheep and the chickens start cleaning up the garden. But over here I noticed a couple beans, so I'm gonna grab those beans. My garlic should be getting in the mail in the next couple of days, so these are ready. But before it starts getting too cold consistently, I do want to get in here and start prepping the beds for the fall and the winter. And our chickens need fresh compost and bedding in their coop. So I start turning beds, getting stuff ready for the winter slowdown. All right, so we're about halfway down the row. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how many beans I'm finding. These plants, well, backtrack. We've had a big issue this year with a lot of our solar panels going out. They're a couple years old now. And because of that, we are short on solar panels to electrify all of our fences, which hasn't been a big deal. But periodically, I've mentioned this year that the sheep have been getting, or the cow have gotten into this garden. And that's because we normally have a solar panel on our garden fence, but this year we didn't. And so these rows of beans, these were the ones that I planted late, trying to see if I'd beat the frost. So I hadn't really expected to get anything off of them. And then a couple weeks ago, the sheep got in and ate all the top leaves off. So I kind of had put these two rows to bed in my head. Hadn't really thought I was going to get anything off of them. But I guess the last couple of weeks of the cooler but not cold temperatures allowed them to put enough leaf on where they're actually putting, the couple plants that are in here have actually put on quite a few little bit of beans. So we're gonna get one more batch, it looks like, of fresh evening beans, which is really exciting, especially with us having frost temperatures and knowing that fall's coming and winter's coming. So to have that last little taste of summer is kind of fun. So I'm gonna finish out this row, and then the next row, and then those two rows will be ready just about for mulch and compost. Sweet little basket of beans. And then we got all this pulled. Got a little more up here to work at. And then I'm gonna pull this whole path because this is where I'm gonna actually move the fence to. But I'm not gonna let the chickens and them have this path because my carrots are doing pretty good. So I'm gonna weed this path right here. You can't really tell what it is, but there's a path right here. And then try to weed these carrots a little bit. And then move the fence so that the chickens can feast on the leftover tomatoes and weeds. And then we'll throw compost on all of this, mulch the paths, and then the plan, if I get to it, is to actually tarp this whole half of the garden over the winter into the early spring, to hopefully cut down on weeds next year. So I had these grandiose plans of having like this awesome winter garden this year, and honestly life happened and it just didn't happen. But I did get carrots in the ground, and it's fun to see. So this is like a weed right here that pops up a lot in our area, or in my garden anyway, during the summer. But you can see how it's like frost damaged, but then you've got the tops of these carrots that are just vibrant as it's getting cooler. So it's cool to see firsthand just the difference in what survives in the summer versus what survives in the cool weather. Super fun. All right, so I'm super pleased with that. Okay, so you see the irrigation hose. That's the carrot row. I still need to work on that just because it's pretty detailed weeding to not disturb the carrots. This is the path that I'll eventually remulch. And then these 2 rows are the rows that I just pulled the beans out of. So I'm gonna move this fence here around these tomatoes and down. I am gonna go ahead and just let them have all of this. The chickens have all of this so they can start cleaning up the cherry tomatoes, and hopefully we won't have a whole slew of volunteers next year. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this moved so they can start cleaning that up for me. I 100% am waiting for the day that I show you guys just how coordinated I am and get my foot wrapped up in that fence and fall. It's gonna happen one day. Mark my words. But anyway, so I got all that encompassed. I'm super pleased with that. I'm gonna weed these carrots, and then that should be probably it for this project. All right, we're just gonna keep working away and get these as best I can without hurting them and disturbing them. You can see the little carrot. Sorry, friend. I probably should have got out here, weeded these a while back, but you know, you have to prioritize life sometimes. Real quick before I sign off, I thought I would walk you guys over here and show you the small fall garden that I've gotten started. I'm gonna weed it, mulch it, and then cover it for the winter to see how we do. But we got some spinach in the ground, and then we also got some kale in the ground. So we'll have some leafy greens. I'm gonna put some lettuce in the greenhouse and some pots to see if we can get some lettuce growing in that. I'm also gonna move the green stalk in the greenhouse and plant some lettuce seeds in that and see if we can get anything growing in that, even if we need to use a little bit of a grow light to get it jump started since it is pretty late in the season. But that's where we're at. We're gonna harvest sweet potatoes this week as well and see how those went off. But thanks for joining me on this video, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the change in season, whether you're headed into spring or fall. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you soon.